Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys coming through, and good to see a lot of you again. Getting through the third day of the draft. Obviously excited with a lot of the picks that we made. Jaquelin is no exception. He's a player that we've been on for a while, a player who has versatility within our scheme. He kind of plays with the mentality that we're trying to build here. So this late in the draft to get somebody with his traits and his upside, we're really excited about. And with that, I'll open up to any questions.
Hey Chisom, well, I guess what do you mean when you talk about his mentality? I guess what did you pick up on there from him?
I think first of all, when you go and play defensive line at LSU, there's a certain lineage and a certain expectation that comes with wearing that jersey and going to that school. That I think that when you go there, you kind of sign up for that. And he's been battle tested. He's played in the SEC. He's a young player who flashed early in his career, and I think he has a lot of upside to him. So just kind of like the way he attacked, early in his career, the final year, and the player that he's kind of trending towards right now.
You mentioned his versatility. Just how much has that characteristic been an emphasis for you guys, just with a bunch of these picks this year?
I think that's been one of the main messages that B-Flow has kind of put on us is that he's built on being multiple, and I think the idea of having an aggressive scheme, the idea of having a scheme that can dictate to the offense. Part of that is having players that can play multiple roles, so you don't develop tendencies, so you don't have certain guys who just specialize at doing certain things. So the more versatile players you can add, the more you can kind of be the one who's calling the shots a little bit and keeping the offense guessing as the game goes on.
Chisom, you guys took two USC guys and then two LSU guys after you take Ed Ingram last year. Not that that's the end all, but how much do you guys kind of like having some teammates and maybe kind of help that transition into the NFL?
Yeah, it's certainly nothing that you plan on before the draft, but I think just the human dynamic of being a 20-some-year-old going to a new city, dealing with the pressures and the ups and downs of, trying to make your way in the NFL. I really do think there's something cool about having somebody to go through it with, and the players that you meet in the locker room, you're meeting for the first time, and you may not feel as comfortable taking your problems to them or leaning on them for support. So just having somebody who you've seen before, a familiar face in the hallway, I can't imagine that it's anything but a really good thing for these guys. So excited for both of them to kind of have somebody to go along this journey together with.
Chisom, along with versatility, was there anything else that Brian Flores has kind of, sort of spoken up and said, here are the things that we like that he wants from a defensive lineman, especially?
He talks a lot about big guys that run like little guys. So big guys who have the size and the physical traits to play big at the line of scrimmage, but then when the ball declares, or if there's a screen, or if there's instances where they have to be more aggressive playing upfield, they're not just guys who are tying up blockers. They're big guys who can also do little guy things. So that's kind of the traits that we look for. I mean, obviously those are in high demand, so they're not just falling off the trees. But if you find guys that can do both, then you're kind of on the right path.
You mentioned having him on your radar for quite some time. Just talking about the differences that you've been able to see, like whether it's on tape or in person, and how you think that as you're projecting what guys will be able to do at this level, how do you fit all that together?
To me, the tape is always going to be the most important part because that's their resume. But sometimes seeing a guy live, seeing how he practices, seeing how he is before games, gives you some of the between the lines tells of like who this person is and what you can expect when you bring him into your building. So to me, you're piecing together. The data points kind of piece together the greater picture of who the guy is, and seeing him live. Talking to his teammates. We actually have the luxury of having a couple guys who coached him in the past while he was at LSU, in our building. So when you're trying to put together that picture, any data point that you can add to it is just more beneficial.